Well, it must be another Friday because here we are going live, not only on Facebook anymore, we are going live on YouTube as well. So I want to welcome everybody here who's coming to see DSP. That's me, David Scott Peters, for Shoot the Shit with DSP. I'm going to give time or let me try it again. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity, some time to log on to join us today. In the meantime, do me a favor, say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're viewing from. I'm going to say calling in. It's like in the old days, man. I've been doing this for 20 years. And so I keep thinking the teleseminar days. Where are you calling in from? Where are you? So say hi in the comments. Let me know. Now, my team is going to do a couple things. If you're on Facebook, my team is going to drop in a link that says restream.io/FB for Facebook. If you've never done so before, you need to click on that link if you're in my Facebook groups and give Facebook permission for me to see your name. Otherwise, I don't see your name. It says Facebook user. If you're on YouTube, make sure you log in to your account first, and therefore you can participate. I've got Adriana, good morning. Hi from Connecticut. I don't know if you know, I'm from back east. I grew up in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and went to school in Boston, Northeastern University. There is the chat window, or what Mary put in our members group. Jenny will be in a second putting the other chat in the non-members Facebook group. But again, for those of you who are joining, please do me a favor, say hi in the comments. We're going to get started here in just a second. I'd love to see where you're calling from and who you are. It is Deja. Good morning, Deja. It was lovely talking to you this week. It looks like we've got Mother's Cantina. I'm guessing that is Neely, that Ryan's going to be in Facebook. So good morning, Neely. It's good to see you. We're here to SDS. No, STS. SDS. What is SDS? Shoot the shit. T. You're killing me. All right, I got a Facebook user. It says the Curious Pig restaurant here. Fantastic. Now notice it didn't say Facebook. It says Facebook user. Make sure you click on the link that my team is going to put in there. Gosh, I don't see it in there yet, Mary. Could you make sure Jenny drops it in? I know I just chatted with her on Slack. We've got a good morning, Dana from Highland, New Jersey. Hey, man, old stomping ground. Well, not really. It was Atlantic City, Margate to be exact, is where I grew up. We've got, yes, it is Neely. This is Neely from Mother's Cantina. We've got another G's from Mother's Cantina. With that said, we've got Jenny says, have you done so? Here you go. Now, Jenny has put it in your Facebook group. Click on this if you have not done so before. Can see your name. Kim Newsom. Why is it Newsom Kim? It always throws me off. Good morning. Pete says, hey, good morning, Pete. We've got Davis Costas. What's up, brother? Silver Beach here. Good to see you, my friend. I've got another good morning coming here from Colette and Lindsay. What's up? What's up? Good to see you. I'm glad you guys are you guys like attached? I know you're your mother-daughter, but like, are you Siamese twins? I'm starting to think maybe that's the case. That's not a bad thing. Make sure this thing works here. Fantastic. Well, I've got one more thing here, and then we'll get started. Kim says, that was for Pete from Arizona. Got it. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. Welcome to Shoot the Shit with DSP. STS with DSP happens every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook and now YouTube, travel schedule permitting. We're going to invest about 30 minutes out of your day to get pumped about the upcoming weekend, get excited about crushing your goals, and finding the motivation to be the best you possible. Plus, I'll answer your burning questions. I'm David Scott Peters, creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula, and your coach. And today, I want to talk about taking responsibility for your own actions and why that is so important. Again, for those of you who are joining late, make sure if you're on Facebook, you click on the link inside the Facebook group chat that says Restream .io/FB for Facebook so I can see your name. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you take the time to log into your account so you can participate and ask me questions directly, because after I do my bit on getting you motivated and ready for the weekend, you're going to have an opportunity to ask me questions directly, and you can pop those in at any point in time. I will make sure I see them later. So here we go. We're going to talk about the importance of taking ownership of your own actions, right? Taking responsibility for your own actions. Why is this so important? Well, I talk to restaurant owners on damn near a daily basis, whether they're members or people looking to learn about membership, or just people I've talked to, whether it's speeches, whether on the phone, whether on Zoom. I talk to a lot of people and I see the similar struggles over and over again. And it gives me joy to help people make change. But I want to share with you what struck me a little bit this week. I had somebody jump on my calendar who we're going through the discovery call, and we go through the portion of tell me about your business, because I want to learn about you, your story, where you started, what got you excited about the restaurant business, the history, the timeline, the sales, the cost of goods sold, your challenges. Because my goal is, no matter what, if we get on a call, whether we work together or not, is I want to give you the help you need, give you actionable items that you can make change in your business. So I got to know your story. Well, this person found an older link that goes directly to me. For those who've been following me in length of time, I've now got Ryan James, one of my member mentors, a graduate of my program who's made huge change in his business, kind of play that virtual guard dog. Hey, let's find out whether this program is even right for you and you're a good fit for the group. And he's got no problem sharing his and Neely's success in the program. And then if it's right, they get on my calendar. Well, I've got some old links out there. You can start searching for them, but you get directly to me now. And so that was how I used to do it. So now this person found that link. Now, with that said, I got no problem with that. I mean, I'm going to talk to anybody. It was just a matter of making sure that I have enough time on my calendar for those people I can help that are a good fit, plus my members who pay me for help, right? Makes sense? I got to take care of your customers. Same difference for you and your building. Now, with that said, I'm on a call with this person, and we get about 20, 30 minutes into the call, still telling me the story, which is not normal. For the most part, normally, there's a 5-10 minute discussion, but we're about 30, 35 minutes in, and my ears spark up because he said he's behind on this. He has to pay this. He borrowed this. And the borrow was when we take a credit card loan. Now, right now, that just gives me heartburn. And I'm going to tell you, as an operator, I've taken that credit card loan where you go, your credit card company says, or this other company says, we'll lend you money, but we'll take it back automatically out of your credit cards coming in. Sounds great. Fixes a problem that somewhere along the line, cash flow, you've got a problem that's fixed. The problem is that can be as high as a 40% interest rate if you don't pay attention. Plus, it's sucking up a large portion of your income that you just create another cash flow nightmare. You start paying or needing another loan is really what it comes down to. Now, I go through this call and I find 4 broadline distributors he owes money to, back taxes, credit card loan, and a POS system that has loaned him money at a high rate of return at 11% of income. And I start going through the process and realize he spent the PPP money, spent EIDL money, spent the RTC credit, but didn't fix the business. To only discover that in this discussion that there's just to cover the debt service and being in the space was 24%. 24% to be in that building. There's not enough revenue in this world. And I had to sit there and say, dude, I can't help you. Like, it crushed me to deliver to somebody who's like, I need help. And I go, you need to declare either Chapter 5 or Chapter 6 bankruptcy. Crushed me. But it's the message the person needed to hear. But how the hell did we get to this point? He's not alone. I talk to people all the time who've spent that PPP money, who spent the ideal money, who's taken the RTC credits, and never changed how they operate. Made the same dumbass mistakes over and over again, just prolonging, kicking the can down the road to challenge, to failure potentially. And we do this every single day. That is an extreme example. How many times have you made excuses for why you're in the situation you are? Justified why? How it's somebody external factor, the government, COVID, your vendors, recession / inflation, whatever you want to call it. Never looking internally, always externally. Now, Martin Luther King Jr. stated in a 1953 radio address, he says, quote unquote, don't you love the quotes, air quotes? One of the most common tendencies of human nature is that of placing responsibility on some external agency for mistakes we've made. We are forever attempting to find some scapegoat on which we cast responsibility for our actions. Think about that. Something's going wrong in your life. Martin Luther King says, hey man, you're looking for somebody else to blame. Couldn't possibly me, somebody else. And though for those of you who've been following for any length of time, you know that leads to a fixed mindset. And a fixed mindset person says, here are the challenges in front of me. It's their fault that I'm in this situation. It's their fault, not my fault, it's their fault. The government's fault, it's COVID's fault, it's the recession's fault, the vendors are screwing me, every customer's a Karen, my employees are idiots, they never show up. Somebody else's fault for why you are where you are today. And again, if you've been following me, I need you to have a growth mindset, because growth mindset people see they have the same damn challenges, but instead of saying it's somebody else's fault, they take responsibility for their actions. They see them as a challenge to outlearn, to outspend, to outwork, that it is a speed bump on their road to success, not something that stops them dead in the track because this external thing controls their life. Wrong. They control their life. So in short, blaming others for what's going on around you, even when you have thought in the past that maybe it's being done to you, can do nothing but put you on a path to failure. Fixed mindsets can crush you, keep you dead in your tracks doing the same thing you've always done, which leads you to failure. It doesn't matter how long or slow that failure. Failure's failure. And I'm not talking about making a mistake, calling that failure. I'm talking about being out of business, not taking care of the people around you like you're supposed to. Now, what would make you want to start even taking responsibility for your own actions? Whether you're a fixed or growth mindset person, what is that kicking off point that says, hey man, I need to take responsibility for what I do? Well, it's ultimately when you believe that the behaviors you've chosen can change. It's when you feel and understand that the behaviors that you've chosen can change, that it's not baked in. It's when you can look yourself in the mirror and admit that something was your fault. When you realize you've created the situation, not someone else, and/or you made that mistake. You can then put yourself on a path to change. Change is critical. Change is hard. Change is uncomfortable. Now, what does taking responsibility actually look like? Well, you own your part in what's taking place around you. So if your sales are going down, now right now, I talk to members all the time. I was on with one of my Mastery Plus members whose sales were going down 20% because of the recession / high inflation, whatever you want to define it as. And I know this for a fact in a small market, and that's where the economy is truly hurting him. But instead of just saying, oh, the government, oh, the economy, there's nothing I can do about it, he took responsibility and he came up with a marketing program that we did a full budget analysis, menu analysis to say, hey, we're going to bring in a loss leader of less expensive burgers and wings for the month. And the idea is we're doing a promotion, a red envelope promotion to get people to come back. If I can get more people in the door, I can actually, if it brings in more sales, I can slow down my loss in sales. I can still probably make a little money, and I can bring in more people in my slower months because they have this bounce back offer. See, he didn't just accept it. And sure enough, he cut his slide from 20% down to 6%, if I remember correctly. Now, while that is not a cure, it sure is a cure. But what happened is he understood that he's going to own his part in what's happening around him. He's going to take control of his life. Another thing, why would you want to start to take responsibility? Well, what does it look like? You stop blaming others for things that are ultimately your fault. If your food cost is high, it's not your chef's fault, it's your fault. If your labor cost is high, it's not your manager's fault, it's your fault. If you can't keep people in your doors, it's not your management team's fault, it's your fault. You need to understand that you are the leader of your business. You need to take responsibility for everything that goes on in your business. I often describe that to general managers. I said, it's fantastic. Finally get that promotion. Man, congratulations. You're now the GM. That means when your team does a good job, you pat them on the back, you tell everybody, congratulations, look at what my team did. Look what that person did. Wasn't that awesome? When your team screws up, you take ownership and it's your fault because it was your job to help them. Welcome to being up the food chain. Well, we've got to make sure we do that. What else? You stop making excuses. You stop making excuses. I mean, think about it just in your own life. Oh, why don't I lose weight? Well, I know I should exercise, but I'm tired. I work so many hours. Well, that's just an excuse that fulfills a self-fulfilling prophecy that you can't get it done. It won't happen. Take that into your business. I meet with somebody and say, hey, you're running a 65% prime cost, patting yourself on the back. You do $850,000 a year more in sales. I'm telling you, you should be at 55%. You're hitting an old standard that doesn't work anymore. Oh, you don't understand. Our restaurant's different. We can't. Might as well just tell me you won't. You don't understand. We're a steakhouse. You don't understand. We're a seafood house. You don't understand. It doesn't matter. Stop making excuses. Those excuses put you in a position where you cannot make change. On a personal level, for those of you may or may not know, I got back into the sport of rowing. I was rowed in high school, scholarship athlete, Northeastern University in Boston, D1 school rower, 33 years off, and got back into it because of the pandemic. And I'm all in. I'm an all in kind of guy. Like I'm in. I'm racing now. I'm traveling. I'm doing all these things, and it's changed my life. You look at some of my old videos, my puffy, pale skin and fat face because I was 35, 40 pounds heavier. But even today, as I've made all those changes, you get in a team boat and their coach will say, hey, you need to make this change. And my initial reaction is, with these other people in the boat, you don't understand. That person's not doing, which is causing me to do. And I literally have an internal voice that goes, stop making excuses. If the coach were to say, hey, why is that happening? And you want to go, well, it's the other people in the boat. Bullshit. I know that I would say, I got nothing but excuses. That's it. Excuses are horrible. They stop you dead in your tracks. They give you permission not to make change. How about this? What does taking responsibility look like? You stop blaming your team when you understand it's your job to never let them fail. It is your job to make sure of the training, the support, the accountability. Even if it means writing up or terminating, it's your job. They're your team. They're your people. You are responsible to never let them fail. Give them what they need. And while it's not easy for most people to take responsibility for their actions, even when those actions have consequences, it's worth it if you want to be successful. So if I take example of the person I talked to this week, who I told best option was a Chapter 5 or Chapter 6 bankruptcy. And again, who am I? Just some jackass you see on the internet, and he jumped on a Zoom call with me. I'm just some guy. I happen to be doing this for 20 years, and I feel like I have a shit ton of experience and great knowledge to help people, but I'm just some guy that he jumped on a Zoom call with. So take that with a grain of salt. Whenever you talk to somebody, it doesn't mean everybody you talk to is God's gift and understands everything. However, I've seen thousands of restaurants and their numbers and budgets. Thousands of conversations with restaurant owners and managers. I've been doing it for 20 years. I speak all over the country. I've been coaching that time. I've had a software company in the past with over 500, almost 600 restaurants in it at the time. Thousands. I can tell you that the path of what happened to him was he stopped taking responsibility and wanting to make change in his business. So instead found a Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid, thinking that just throwing money at the problem would make a change. You've got to take responsibility. And while it gave me no pleasure to tell somebody they were on path for a Chapter 5 or 6 bankruptcy, it's my responsibility to help them start to take responsibility. Now, John C. Maxwell, very famous author at this point for business books, right? He once said, people who blame others for their business, or I'm sorry, people who blame others for their failures never overcome them. They simply move from problem to problem. To reach your potential, you must continually improve yourself. And you can't do that if you don't take responsibility for your actions and learn from your mistakes. So even when you feel challenged, even when you accept responsibility, you feel in the downy dumps, you can do that. You're human. You can have that experience. But what you do the next day defines you. It is now your time to say, I'm going to stop making excuses. I'm going to stop blaming everybody else. I'm going to stop saying that these things are out of my control. And I'm going to take responsibility for my actions. I'm going to make decisions. Whether right or wrong, I get to make them. I have a God-given right to go bankrupt if I so choose. It's my business. But choose something, do something, take responsibility, and then go find the knowledge you need. Change how you do things. Help people be successful. And man, your life will be so different. You'll see your world instead of, in just everything's in flames, instead there'll be rose-colored glasses. Because even though you have flames around you, you can see past them and see the greener pasture behind it. And know that you're just one step away. But you can only do that if you take responsibility for your actions. I hope that helps you, because we all have those challenges. And now that concludes my portion of Shoot the Shit with DSP. Now it's your turn to ask me questions. Hopefully you've already put them in the chats. I'm going to look over here where I've got the 3 groups. I want to remind people, if you've never done so before, if you're in one of my 2 Facebook groups, my private Facebook group, my member group, then you need to click on a link, restream.io/FB, to give Facebook permission for me to see your name. And if you're watching live on YouTube, make sure you logged into your account so that you can use the chat or comment section. So let's go down here. Let's see where I left off. We have, all right. Mark McShaffrey says, cheers to you, my friend. Chris Schoenberger, good to see you, my friend. He may not realize it now, but at some point in time in life, he is and will thank you. I hope so, man. It is never fun to deliver that kind of message, member or not. Well said, Deja. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support you give me on this, because, again, this is a labor of love, coming up with the content each week, and deliver it with hopefully the enthusiasm that gets you guys pumped, and it's worthwhile for you guys to show up here to take time out of your Friday. Ryan says, hey, David, we recently had to terminate a bartender that was our top seller and long time employee. What should our message be to the rest of the staff about this? I think the message to the staff is that it doesn't matter how good you are. If we don't respect the team, respect the systems, from showing up on time, doing our side work, carrying our load, it doesn't matter how good you are. You, in fact, bring the business down. And no matter how good someone is, discipline has to be in a position that, I always describe this as a cast iron coffee pot. Mary on my team hates when I can say this, because who knows what a cast iron coffee pot is? Just coffee pot. When a coffee pot gets hot, it whistles, it gives warning. A coffee pot, when you touch it, it burns you. It's immediate. Every time I touch a coffee pot, it burns me. It's consistent. No matter who touches the coffee pot, they get burned. It's impersonal. We've got to be consistent with our disciplinary programs. So no matter what the reason is, if they broke the rules repeatedly, if they have been written up, if they've done something so egregious like selling liquor to an underage person without checking, because they didn't check IDs, and they're terminated for it. It's not what you did. Hey, great line with today lineup because that person, that employee needs to take responsibility for their own actions. And you know what? That may be a part of your message as well. It's not us, the big bad owners. We love that person. However, the behavior they've chosen, the actions they've chosen, there are consequences, no matter who they are. That would be my 2 cents. I hope that helps. Lindsay says, thanks, David. Thanks for always motivating us. I appreciate you. You motivate me. You know why? Because you guys actually already have made change, huge change. Think about Colette. Think about where we were not a month ago. You had to be in the business to where you are putting management in place to separate you to change your role. And Lindsay, you'll be next. Like, that's incredible. That's what motivates me. Kim says, amen. We're regrouping and making changes now to overcome the challenge that killed us last year. Goal is to get back in the black this year. Hey man, if I can help you at all, Kim, please reach out. Let me know. If you want to get on a call with Ryan, please let me know. Ryan can reach out to you directly if you want. But if not, it's okay. I'd love to have you here each week. I'm here to help. Lindsay says, listen to the podcast about 5-out software. I'm blown away by it. Can't wait to learn more about it. Dude, I'm telling you, look, if those of you don't tune in my podcast, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, what you need to do so. Now, I have a replay on YouTube and on any podcasting service. Like I've been doing it. I do 2 episodes a month, or basically every other week, I should say. And I'm up to like episode 64 or something like that. Well, this one, 5-out, was brought to us by one of my members, now a member mentor, Avery Ward, who's made incredible change. You can listen to his podcast. It was just recently, a couple of podcasts ago. Like incredible change. Well, he introduced me to this company because he's going through my program and I talk about forecasting sales and I give him the tool and he hears this advertisement. He goes over. This software is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Now, I don't get excited about software too often as somebody who's developed software. This shit's the cat's meow. You all need to check out, go listen to my podcast, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, episode 63, I think it is. Jenny and Mary, if you could drop that in the chats, that'd be great. But the fact of the matter is, amazing. Through artificial intelligence and your POS data and the fact that it can look up what weather is and what weather was a year ago and if there's a sporting event, like it, within hundreds of dollars forecast your sales. It is amazing and what kind of change you can make. So thanks for bringing that up. I hope everybody checks out that podcast. We've got Dana says, as an employer, is it possible to guide an employee to the realization that they need to take responsibility for their life decisions in the hopes they become better employee? Yes and no. Yes, absolutely. You could coach them. In fact, that's your job, is to start kind of sharing the message I just shared with you, right? The message I just shared with you is the exact message you're going to give anyone, an employee, about taking responsibility for your actions and growing up. But you can't make someone ready for that message. You can deliver it, but it may be that you have to be the employer who terminates them. You may have to be the employer that sets them down the path that those consequences are so large that they need to reflect and look backwards. But absolutely coach them as much as you can. And the message I gave you today is the exact message you want to give them. So here's the 5-out podcast. There it is, dsp.coach. So in case you're in YouTube, I don't have one of my team in YouTube to drop that in. So you can go dsp.coach/pod-063-transcript. That's a transcript? Or is that the episode? Here we go. This one's easier. Instead of the short link, davidscottpeters.com/podcast-063. Jenny, I don't know which one that is. That's the actual podcast transcripts. Gina, hey Gina, what's going on, man? To Ryan, usually the staff already knows why they were terminated. Chatter between them isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it's the best not to say anything. That comes from HR. Facebook user says hello. Hey, Facebook user just said hello, exclamation, exclamation. Make sure you click on the link that says restream.io/FB in the chat that my team put in there. Give Facebook permission for me to see your name and then say hi again so I know who I'm saying hi to. We're getting close to the end here. Does anybody else have any other questions? I want you to do me a favor. This is your time. I've got a Cat and Poncho. Now, is that the name of the restaurant or is that two people's names? Don't know. A question. Trying to onboard, we are up against so much competition with new restaurants and new hotels. Even though we offer a much better salary and benefit, people go to the shiny new object. So, what's the question technically? I'm going to bring it up and say the question is, why the hell are people not staying with us? So now I'm going to pull a book out of my drawer. There's 2 books in my drawer. Like, I do this so often. There are 2 books in my drawer. What are these? The first book is, of course, my book, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, What Successful Restaurateurs Do. Shameless plug. Find it on Amazon or any of your online book sellers, but that's not why I do this. This is a book I want you to read. The 5 Languages of Appreciation in the Workplace by Gary Chapman and Paul White. And I should earn a commission. I can't tell you how many of these freaking books I've sold for these guys. I think they wrote The 5 Languages of Love too, but I didn't read that book. I read this one, The 5 Languages of Appreciation in the Workplace. We've got to become an employer of choice. Becoming an employer of choice is not just pay. It's our culture. Are we in a position that we make our employees feel appreciated every single day? That's proper supervision. That's great training. That's accountability. That's flexibility in our schedule. It is benefits. It's all the different things. It's not just pay. So you need to look internally and say, how do I know if I'm an employer of choice? Well, you know if you're not an employer of choice, when a customer asks one of your employees, hey, do you like working here? They go, these sons of bitches? No, I'm just here until blah, blah, blah. Like they share openly in your restaurant to the customers. When you're an employer of choice, when somebody says, hey, do you like working here? They go, oh my gosh, they treat me like family. They did this for me. I'll be here forever or as long as I can, da, 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 da. And they go find their friends and family and pull them in because they want to share what a great place it is. So if you're not that employer of choice, you got some changes to make. Hope that helps. Cat and Poncho. Cat and Poncho says, me and my husband's name. All right, fantastic. La Posta in Jakarta? In Jakarta? No kidding. Fantastic. Thanks for joining from Jakarta. It took me a while to pronounce it. I was thinking it might have been the silent H, which is not. Welcome. It is good to have you both. Lindsay says, my grandparents eat at their table 41 every day, and she's not lying, every day. Right now, we are putting everything through Toast and just manage comp it afterwards. Managers comp it afterward. Is that how I should be doing it? Yes, you should be doing it. That way we're giving the kitchen, the sales, the gross sales, so we can measure food cost. We're giving the bar, and if they're drinking any liquor, the beverage for beverage costs. We want the gross sales to be in there. Now you're not collecting that money, so you're going to comp it. So that gives our management team the right measurement tools, and it gives us on a cash basis to know that we didn't collect that money. So yes, I believe you're handling that correctly. Manager comp. Yeah, I figured it out. There we go. All right, we are getting towards the end here of Shoot the Shit with DSP. Does anybody else have any other questions? I'll give you an opportunity to give me one more. If not, I'm going to let us go start our days. Just do me a favor, one last thing. While Chris, I'm going to read what Chris put here. Would you all tell me if you enjoyed today's topic? And if so, let me know. Say, yeah, I liked it. No, I didn't like it. So I know. And the other is say, yes, I take responsibility for my actions, or I'm working on it. So do me a favor. So while I answer this next thing, do me a favor and make sure you put in, yes, you like the topic. No, you didn't like the topic. And either you do take action, you do take responsibility for your actions, or you're working on it. So here we go. Chris just popped this in, and I just saw Emmy Barnick just joined. Hey, Emmy, good to see you. Chris says, I went Christmas shopping for our Christmas party on Monday. We had 4 people ask me if I was hiring while I was shopping. They all worked at Best Buy. Said in 5 years, never had an Xmas party. Something is so simple as a Christmas party, and our staff is still talking about it. I've got to then go over here, and it's more copy. Talking about it 5 days later. Take care of your team, and they will take care of you. Amen. All right. I've got a Facebook user says how to contact you for consultation. So there's two ways we can do this. Number one, Ryan James. I can't see your name. Okay, so because you didn't click on the link to give Facebook permission, Ryan James is probably going to go into the chat now, find your Facebook profile, and Facebook message you. So he'll let you get on your calendar. Otherwise, your next step is you can go to davidscottpeters.com. In the upper right-hand side, you can opt in for a free video series I do that then puts you in the loop for Ryan to contact you. But I'll put money on Ryan is contacting you. Look at this. Ryan says, working on it. So you're going to get contacted directly through Facebook Messenger. Check your messages. Ryan says, love the topic. Now, Ryan, you didn't answer the second question. Do you take responsibility for your actions, or are you working on it? I know you do take responsibility. You wouldn't be a member mentor if not. Kim says, always appreciate it and helpful. How about this? Kim, do you take responsibility for your actions, or are you working on it? Dana says, really enjoyed it and need it, working on it. Fantastic. A honest assessment is important. Cat and Pancho says, always love your vibe. Gracias. I am constantly working on it. Laugh out loud. Amen, my friend. It's so easy to fall into a fixed mindset. Just remember, you can do it for a day. Next day defines you. Lindsay, yes, take responsibility. And of course, we enjoyed today's topic. Well, it's not of course, but I appreciate it. And Kim says, working on it. Two more here. Gina says, if you haven't signed on David Scott Peters, make sure your New Year's resolution, make it your year's resolution. It's easy for me to say, right? Coming from a successful California restaurant. Gina, thank you so much. And if anybody has missed the podcast I did with Gina, she is phenomenal. Just love you to death. Mother's Cantina Neely says, love the response regarding firing a long-term employee. Thank you. You're welcome. I hope it helps. I actually saw the picture. I'm going to use that picture in marketing. You'll all learn eventually. Chris says, I can't start Friday without STS. I appreciate you, man. So Jenny has thrown in we've got a link now. If you want to go directly to Ryan, she has created https://DSP for davidscottpeters.coach/call-with-Ryan. So you all, if you're trying to figure out how to get on with Ryan, you can do so. And what that means is he's going to spend about 15 minutes learning about you, your business, your challenges, answering some of your questions, telling you what his, path through my program was like. And then if you both determine the next step is talk to me, that you're a fit for the program, we'll get on a call. We'll get her done. Hey, we have gone long today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love the fact that you're all participating. I'm really glad and welcome the Facebook people here, because again, in the past, it's for the last year or so, it's only been Facebook. So I hope to see you next week on Shoot the Shit with DSP. Go out there, kick some ass. Love you all. Peace, everybody.